What's going on, everybody? Good evening. Hope everybody's all well. We have a special show, special edition show tonight, P edition. I titled this is Youth Football for Kids. Um, I had a scheduled special guest, the commissioner from the Snoop Youth Football League, Coach Wadu, was scheduled to come on here. Uh, he had a last minute emergency. Let's send some prayers out and hope that he's well. I will definitely get him on this show because who else to talk about youth football from a different point of view? Um, I know he's been on the coaching side and he's also been on the administration side, and he's doing it for, if not, in my opinion, one of the best youth football in Snoop Youth Football League. So we're gonna get him on here. Y'all send prayers out to him. Hope that all is well. We'll get him on here on the later date of the show, and we'll talk. We'll talk youth football and have some fun, and find out some fun facts. With that being said, I titled this show is Youth Football for Kids. A lot of you do know, a lot of you don't know, but myself, I got about 6 years of coaching experience. And within that, I've done it at the highest level. I've got my ass whooped badly to the point where games was stopped because I had coaches and parents and all that. It's fighting in the bleachers and all that. I've seen it, and then I've seen it where we've been doing the beating, and we went to the highest level, undefeated Super Bowls, playing teams that were the best in their region, and we beat them. In fact, at the age of 8, we lost one game, and that was in the Nationals against a very qualified team, and probably arguably two of the best teams, definitely two of the best teams in California at that year, but maybe the top 5, top 10 8-year-olds across the whole nation. So let's talk about it. Yeah. Youth football is big. For those of you who don't know, youth football is very big. It's a huge platform that even when I started, I didn't realize how big it was. But when I started, I actually had a chance to watch it grow each year. I got started about 5-6 years ago. I had a friend of mine who knew I played, youth football and had a lot of experience behind football, and he asked me to coach with him. And he asked me to coach. He was like, yo, it's flag, it's 5 and 6-year-olds, and at that time I wasn't doing comedy. I was just a regular person out here, going to work, coming home, and I felt it was an escape, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll give it a chance. I'll come out there and coach youth football with you. And it was at the age of the kids that I have now, they're at the age of 11, but it was they were at 5 and they were playing flag, and it was a bit of a I didn't realize at that time that how competitive youth football is. And I know it's specifically supposed to be for the kids, but let's talk about it. Us adults, we take it to a whole nother level. So I started at the age of 5. I mean, the kids were 5. This is about 5-6 years ago. And I was an assistant coach. For the world famous Baldwin Hills Bruins. Youth football in South Central Los Angeles has been around for like 60 plus years. Very prestigious team, historic. I remember playing against them in my youth football days, I played for Crenshaw, and we used to have battles with Baldwin. And Baldwin has always been like that pillar of youth football in South Los Angeles. Um, but I started off as assistant coach. Um, the head coach at the time, which was my boy, I don't want to shit on him, and I'm not gonna shit on him. But sometimes people are put in positions that's a little bit uh, too much for them, and that's okay. Everybody's not meant to be a head coach. Everybody's not meant to be certain things. But long story short, we had a successful season, but we had a lot of issues with parents, and if there's any coaches that's listening, they understand the issues with the parents. But this one, it went too far, and I noticed at the age of 5 we had a special group of kids, and the parents took a liking to me, and a few of them reached out to me like, yo, we want you to be the head coach. If you don't be the head coach, we're out of here. And I knew how historic Baldwin was, and I was like, yo, this is really not even about me. So, you know, take the head coaching job. Well, I got the head coaching job at the age of 6. Reached out to my brother to help me out. Another and like 2 other parents that helped me out. And we had a 6-year-old flag team that was pretty successful. Went all the way down to the playoffs, and we ended up losing, but it was a fun year. At that age, it was fun. Little did we know that later on, it was going to get more hectic in youth football. This is when the politics come in. It's like it's crazy because you hear the more you win, the worse it gets, and that's true. Um, And at that whole time, including myself, I'm guilty. You get caught up in forgetting that it's about the kids. It's about the kids. So at at the age of 7, we came back to play our first year's tackle football. First year tackle football, and yeah, if there's anybody here, yeah, we got our ass whooped. I'm not gonna lie to you, we got our ass whooped every damn near every game. Damn near every game we got our ass whooped at the age of 7. It was bad because at this time, to take it back, when we were 5 and 6, we were in a league called Ogjaf, which was Orange County League. So it was a little different. The dynamics was different. The demographics was different. But at the age of 7, Baldwin had joined the infamous Snoop Youth Football League, and it was unlimited weight. And we're gonna touch on the unlimited weight because I know it's a lot of parents that want to get their kids into youth football, and they hear that unlimited weight, and they're like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And I was the same way. I'm like, "Yo, unlimited. You about to have these big 300-pound kids and all that, and it's completely the opposite. And we're gonna touch on that a little later on. But to get back to where I was at the age of 7, we just joined the Snoop Youth Football League, and the teams that were 8 years old, and we're 7, you could tell the difference. And we got our ass whooped. We got our ass whooped. But it was through that I learned when you get your ass whooped, there's lessons in getting your ass whooped. It's almost like a bully effect. If a bully keeps beating your ass, after a while, you're going to figure out, oh, okay, maybe I need to duck. Maybe I need to bob. Maybe I need to weave and counter punch. And that's exactly what happened when we came back at 8 years old. We coined ourselves bad news Bruins, because it was just bad news. Whenever we showed up, it was bad news. We demolished every team, every team. In fact, the yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, and after we won the Super Bowl, uh, we joined something called Nationals, And that's what the Snoop Football League presented, which was nationals. Nationals is when you take teams from all over the country at the same age group, and they join like a tournament or what have you, and they play against each other. Um, and that's what happened. I believe our first team, we played against a team called the Richmond Steelers. Yeah, Richmond Steelers. They're from up north, and they were in the Snoop Youth Football League from up north, like the Bay Area. And they won. They did their thing up there, and then they came across the Bad News Bruins. And at that age, nothing was stopping us. Nothing was stopping us, and we steamrolled through them. And our next game was against a team from Virginia, if I believe so. If I believe they were from Virginia, and we steamrolled through them. It was bad, probably like 40-something-6 or whatever. And I was coaching deep. I was the head coach, but I was also coaching defense. And shout out to Coach Reese. He got on my ass about even giving up that. And we're gonna get into that too, as far as coaches. Like I've worked with all type of coaches. I've worked with the assholes. I've worked with the perfectionists. I've worked with the goofs. All that. So we'll get to that. But and then we played again in that same year. We played against a team called the. I don't believe they were called the OG Ducks then. They were called the IE Ducks or whatever, and they were a respectable team, and we went down to the wire. We went down to the wire in the Nationals. Snoop was there. All type of stands was the stands was like packed, and it was like, yo, all these people are showing up for youth football. Like these just 8-year-olds, and it's like it was just crazy because you could just hear all the chatter on the sideline as you're walking up, and it's like, man, it's crazy. And within that craziness, right, I don't even think the kids realized what kind of platform they were on. I don't even think the kids realized what kind of platform they're on. I think the kids were just like, yo, it's another football game and all that. But it was the adults. It was the adults. It was the adults that really took it there, right? So let's talk about youth football. We ended up losing that game, but we came back as 9-year-olds, and in 9-year-olds in a 10-year-old division, we went undefeated and lost in the playoffs to like another quality team. But like I said, my team, Baldwin Hills Bruins, Bad News Bruins, it's this right here. Also, just to let y'all know, I'm not kidding around. I've done it at the highest level. When we won the Super Bowl, the city recognized us. They recognized us as Super Bowl champions and all that. This is, yeah, I've done it. I've met Congress people in the Congress people. I'm sorry, city officials who, like I said, invited us down and recognized us and all that. And it just was like, at this point, I did not know youth football was this huge. So my question is, but is youth football really that huge, or is it adults taking it to that level, right? So I did some research and I found out that a lot of kids are quitting. A lot of kids are quitting football. Why are kids quitting football? Youth football. According to the ESPN survey, a lot of kids are quitting youth football. A lot of people are quitting youth football because uh, they're not having fun. They're not having fun. So when I read that stat that a lot of kids are not having fun, it 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 definitely hit me kind of hard, is because I start thinking like damn, B, are you guilty of that? Did you stop making it fun? And I am. I am guilty of it. I am guilty of it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys, and I'm not gonna say that there were times where you hear the chitter chat and the pressure of, yo, you guys are this team. Y'all supposed to go out here and beat this team and beat that team, beat this team, beat that team. And it becomes unfun. It becomes unfun for kids. And I get it. And I get it. But there's also a flip side to it. Life is not fun. Life is not fun. At times it's going to be some adversity. So to me, there's always silver lining in the tough coaches. Like I said, I've seen some coaches. I've seen some coaches who, on the surface, you would think is an asshole. You would think is a straight asshole. Anybody that's watching and they know who my coaching staff is, you know exactly who I'm talking about. On the surface, if you look at him, you would be like, yo, this dude is an asshole. But it's beauty within his assholeness, if that makes sense. Because I can never say this person didn't teach. He was definitely an asshole. He was an asshole to me. And I'm the goddamn head coach. But that's his attitude. But he, it's within that, some kids might deem it as, oh man, he's not making it fun. But then there's other kids who receive the message differently. And I believe in life, it's gonna help them. It's gonna help them out where they're gonna be like, yo, I can handle anything. In fact, youth football or football in general helps me out in everyday life. I've had some asshole coaches. I had some coaches told me, yo, get your dick out the dirt. Right? What that means is don't fucking stay on the ground. Get your ass up. Get your dick out the dirt. And it's that mentality that you have to roll with in life, which comes from youth football. Like I feel like I can handle almost anything. Get your dick. That's always been my mentality. That just stuck with me. Get your dick out the dirt. Right? Get your dick out the dirt. You feeling bad about yourself? Get your dick out the dirt and keep it pushing. And so, but there is a level where coaches, they do take it too far. They do take it too far. I've seen it. I've seen it on many levels. I've seen it at the age of 5, 6, where it's like, yes, if we don't win a championship, this means nothing. This means nothing. And that's it's unfortunate because a lot of kids just be like, I don't want to do this no more. Coach is yelling at me. I really want to play turtles. I really want to play build sand turtles, and coach is fucking with me. He's yelling at me, so they want to quit. And it's tough. Yeah. Somebody in the comments said all coaches in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s were assholes. They were. And the coach that I'm talking about, he's cut from that cloth. So another fun fact I learned about youth football, youth sports in general is kids are starting earlier. 67% of boys and 47% of girls are playing on teams by the age of 6. By the age of 6, people are identifying with sports. Why? Because sports, there's beauty in sports. If there's any single mothers out here that's listening, I don't want you to think that, yo, all the coaches are assholes and they hate your kids. No, they're just men, and they're mirroring the way that they were taught to be tough, or they're trying to get everything they can get out of your child. And they might come off as assholes, but if you stick with it, I'm sure you would love it. So, and this, and I love it. I do love that part of it, that you do have some coaches that are really cool out here who make a great experience for the kids. So why do you guys think kids excuse me, why do you guys think kids are starting at the age of 6, 5 and 6? You think parents is just like, yo, you got to get out the fucking house and do something. Get your fat ass on the field, go run, do something. I don't know. I think in my experience, I've seen some parents who do it because they're competitive. They're over competitive. Then I've seen some parents who just did it because I just want my kid to do something. So I don't know, but they're definitely they're definitely doing it. Um, somebody in the comments put fathers are you ruining youth football. That's a funny that's an interesting topic, and I want to let's jump into that. Fathers, right? 85. There's another fact. There's another fact. 85% of coaches are fathers, and it's interesting because I'm probably in that 15%. That's not. Not to say that my son doesn't play youth football or youth sports. I just can't coach him. I can't coach him. I tried it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I tried it. I suck. I'm terrible. I'm the asshole. I'm the one that makes the kid not want to have fun. I'm that father because I'm so damn competitive. And when you see, and let me be real, when you see, uh, other kids, other coaches or other men, other men as coaches, and you see their kid on the football field, you sit back and you be like, well, damn, I want that for my son. Is he not working hard enough? If he's not doing this, he's not doing that. Um, but I realized early that I can't coach my son. Shout out to any of the coaches that's here listening that coaches their son. Round of applause. That is a special. Y'all not hearing me. I'm gonna say it again. That is a special skill to coach your son. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, I'm gonna want my son to get the ball. I'm not gonna lie to you. I get it. In youth football, they got a term called daddy ball. Daddy ball is where the coach constantly gives his kid the ball. Daddy ball. It's kind of hard not to daddy ball, especially if your kid is that kid. Is that kid? I got a kid on my team, Kyron Ford, which is amazing. In my opinion, I'm not just saying this because he's on my team. At the age of 6, this is probably one of the best 6-year-olds I've ever seen in my life. And if you ever seen my team play, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And I often said to myself, climbing around, if that kid was my son, every parent would hate me. Every parent would hate me because all we would run is Chiron to the left, Chiron to the right. But it's wrong. It's wrong. It's definitely wrong because there's other people who want to get their kids developed. So shout out to the parents, shout out to the coaches that are parents of their kid and they coach them. That is a special type of skill. But let me tell you why I can't coach my son. I'm too damn competitive, and I noticed it. I noticed that, if I'm coaching him, I'm too hard on him. I'm too hard on him. And within the being too hard on your kid, it's out of love. I know a lot of people will look at it like, why are you going so hard on your son? He's only 5, he's only 6, he's only 7, he's only 8. Um, and I start thinking about Joe Jackson. Y'all seen the movie? Y'all seen the movie? Joe Jackson was hard on Michael and them, but look where it got Michael. I'm sure LeVar Ball was hard on his brothers, on his children. I'm sorry, but look where it got him. So that mentality, I've always thought like, you gotta go hard. You gotta go hard, and luckily for me, I didn't have an ego where I had a problem with other men coaching my son. And it turned out to be the best because I realized that I can't coach my son. I'm an asshole. He's gonna hate it. He's not even gonna have fun. So I stepped back, and even stepping back, it's hard. It's hard just sitting there watching as a coach. When you're sitting there watching the other coach do something, and you're like, yo, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what the fuck is he doing? And you really want to go down there and fucking coach that team too? That is very hard. But you know, I sit back and I go, damn, this ain't your team. Respect, come from the coach's mentality and respect what this coach is doing. So I definitely can understand. I definitely can understand how fathers can ruin it for their kids. And I'll say this to the fathers that's listening, that aren't coaching their kid. Um, you gotta trust your skills. Uh, there's a coach. Shout out to Coach. What is it? Coach Ant. Coach Ant. Coach Ant is the first one I said. The Coach Ant of the Gold Rush. Some of you might know him. I've heard him say it. I only got your kid for 2 hours. He said this to a dad. He said this to a dad. I only got your kid for 2 hours. You got him for the other 22. And that stuck with me. That stuck with me was like, damn, only. So to the dads out there, you got your kid for 22 hours. You know what I mean? So at that point, you put in the training, you pay for the training, whatever it is you got to do, you do that. And then when your kid is with the coach for 2 hours, what have you, let the coach do his thing and trust that you're teaching to your kid, you know, it shows up. Definitely do not be that parent that says, fuck what the coach saying. Hey, coach, hey, dad, coach told me to run it up. Hey, your coach an asshole. Your coach don't know shit. Do it this way. Don't be that parent. Please don't be that parent. If you're that parent, I hate you. I'll tell you right now, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Don't be that parent. Don't be that parent. Now, let's keep it real. If if the coach is telling him, you know, hand placement and all that type of stuff, and it's wrong, yes, teach your kid. But also at that point, pull the coach to the side and be like, yo, where you play football at? You do some type of training or something like where you play Madden? You coaching from a Madden standpoint? Like what talk to him, but don't ever disrespect the coach in front of the kids and all that good stuff. But let's keep it fun for the kids, man, because it's really about them. We had our time. Most of us didn't make it. Some of us did, but most of us didn't make it. That's why we're back down here coaching youth football, and let's keep it fun. I know it gets competitive, but let's keep it fun. In fact, kids, if you didn't know, right, when it comes to youth, when it comes to sports, right, youth sports, for high school football players, it's 1 in 6,000 for baseball. No, for football, I'm sorry. For football, 1 in 6,000 kids make it professionally. 1 in 6,000. So let's just let the kids have fun and you know, not 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 ruin anything. If you guys got any questions, any comments or anything, definitely shoot it in the comment section. I see the comment section. I see some people are saying that you know it comes from the fathers and all that. And then let's talk about injury. Let's talk about injury for a second. Um, in my experience of coaching football for 6 years, I have on my team per se that I really picture. I have not yet seen. This is for you parents who's concerned. I have not seen a kid seriously injured. Seriously, I'm not going to say injuries don't occur. Yes, there's going to be rug burns. There's going to be scrapes. There's going to be. Oh, I twisted my ankle. I don't consider those serious injuries. I'm sorry. I don't consider twisting your ankle a serious injury. It's part of the game. It happens. It happens. You can shit. You twist your ankle just walking, hit a pothole, and it's a wrap. It happens in the game. But as far as like seeing kids get concussions and broken arms, broken legs, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. Even when we switched from a weight division to an unlimited division, I didn't see it. A lot of times those big boys, they not lasting that long. Them big boys is probably getting a play or two and calling for a sub. They not in it like that. So you know, I don't want you guys to think that it's not safe, and especially I can speak for the Snoop Youth Football League. We have to go through training and seminars before every season that's updated with different protocols, and there's different type of restrictions. So it's definitely safe. So if you're thinking about getting your kid in youth football, you know, definitely it's cool. It's definitely cool. The competitiveness of it. It does get crazy as a parent. I don't want you to get caught up into it. I've seen it where coaches are going at it. I seen them go at it on social media. I'm guilty. I'm guilty because when you start winning, you start to get your nuts get heavy. You start winning, your nuts get heavy. Is the age nine? Is the age 9 too late? Jazz, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna touch on to the age limit. Is your nuts get heavy when you win, and I'm guilty of it. Some of you are listening right now. I've talked my shit to y'all. Y'all have talked y'all shit to me. But I've always took it as fun. Like it's fun to talk shit because we're not getting paid from this. We're not getting paid from this. So I always took it as fun. But yes, they talk shit. It gets crazy on social media. Amongst coaches, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I love that shit. I do. I love that shit. I love that shit. He wants to know if I'm coaching this year. I'm retired, man. If y'all didn't hear, I'm retired. I'm retired. I had about a good 5-6 years. I'm retired. I've done it. I've done it at all levels. You know, I'm retired, but I am gonna miss that. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I am gonna miss talking shit to y'all. I do. I miss it. And I ain't gonna lie. Let me let y'all know for some of y'all that's listening. Some of y'all that's listening, that's my arch rivals. I think they the when I was playing, when we got the tackle, it was the LA LA Rams. Wow, what were they called? What were they called? Bad Boys? I believe they were called Bad. I believe they were called Bad Boys. I don't know what they were called, but when they played us, they weren't so bad. Okay, see, there I go again, talking shit. Okay, I said I was gonna stop. Okay, I said I was gonna stop, but it's hard because every now and then you just got to throw your shots. But yeah, they were the Bad Boys. I think they're Gorillas now. I think they're the Gorillas now, and yeah, best of luck. Best of luck to them. Them is some cool dudes I met. Shout out to Devon, Coach Devon, and Jed. Those dudes is cool. P Nice and all them at Long Beach was some rivals. We beat them too. It was a dog fight, but we beat them too. But I am gonna miss it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna miss it. Somebody in the comments said, "Is age 9 too late?" What do you think, coaches? Is there any coaches? Is there any used to be coaches in here? What do y'all think? Is the age 9 too late? For me, the age of 9 is actually that's a good age. I would say 8. I would say 8, 9 is a good age. Uh, when I was a kid, that was the age, 8 years old. King Conference, you have to be 8 years old to play football. Now you can play at the age of 5 and 6, and they tackle at 5 and 6. But really, I felt some type of way about that, and it goes back and forth. Every now and then you have that kid that's like 5 and 6 that's just like yo, who the fuck birthed this kid? Shaq? And you don't want your kid being tackled by that kid, but it's very rare. And like I said, those kids are probably running like 2 plays and they tired, but I would say the age 8 and 9 is a good age. Boys in the Hood. That's right. That's their name. My bad, Jed. Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood. Yeah. Um, Somebody put no age isn't too late. Isn't late. That's not necessarily true. It's an interesting fact though. It's I still haven't figured it out because the studies show, the studies that our research shows that kids that start early, they burn out. But we just discussed that, are they burning out because, well, the studies show they burnt out because they don't love the game no more. Why don't they love the game? Is it because of the coaching, or is it just they got into different things? Um, in my experience, I would say that the inner city has a lot of things. We got a lot of things that distracts kids from continuously to play football. Number one, a lot of kids don't have fathers. A lot of kids don't have fathers to keep them in line with their path and what they're trying to do. Another reason is pussy. Yeah, pussy. These kids get to high school, they start getting pussy, and they start not even caring about sports no more. I know a lot of kids in my experience, know a lot of kids who once they started fucking, they didn't even care about sports no more like that. So it pussy uh uh is a great distraction, not a great distraction, but it's a distraction that kids be like, and then you got in the inner city, you have gangs, and various other things that keep kids away from playing sports. Uh, they burn out. That's true. That's true. That's another thing. That's another thing. They're burning out. Could that be it? Could that be it? Kids are burning out. They playing 8 times, 12 months a year. I mean, I don't think that football is designed to play 8 or 12 months through the year. But see, that's where it gets. See, that's where it gets tricky, because it's like on the to the coaches that's doing that. And I'm not sending a shot to you. If you're on this live, please answer in the comments. I'm not sending a shot to you. What I'm asking is, are you guys doing that so heartedly for the development of the kids, or are you doing it because you want the advantage, or you think it's going to give you the advantage to win? I give you example. At the age of 8, a lot of these teams were in passing leagues and doing all this and doing all that. We didn't do none of that. We encouraged our kids to go play different sports. Oh, football season is over, go play basketball. Oh, basketball season is over, go play baseball. Oh, go run track, go do whatever. And when football comes back, come back. And it worked out because, I'll show you why it worked out. Because we got recognized as a city being an undefeated team. So it worked out. But I honestly, I'm against it. Let me just say that I don't think any human being should be playing football 12 months throughout the year. That's just my opinion. I would love to hear, if you are one of those coaches that do it, a different perspective. Um, if you want to jump into the live, you can jump into the live. Uh, and I would love to hear the perspective on why you think it's okay for your kid to play 12 months throughout the year. Um, but yes, the body does need rest. The body does need rest. It is a very physical sport. Um, but yeah, so a lot of kids they burn out. But what I will say, Jazz, to answer your question, is 9 a great? I think that's a perfect age. But I wouldn't want to start my kid. If my kids never played youth football, I would never tell my kid to start playing youth football at like 13 or 14. I don't know if you guys ever been to a 13 or 12-year-old game, but those little dudes is hitting. They are laying the wood. And if you're a kid that's not used to hitting, or knows how to absorb that hit, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal, and you can be seriously hurt. So I wouldn't recommend the age of 11, 12. If you're 11, you got to be a stud in another sport. You got to be a stud in another sport. You can't be that kid that's coming out at the age of 12 and 13. That's just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try football out. Unless you're a big hog molly. If you're already a kid at the age of 13, like 6 feet and 200 something, then yes, we will teach you the game. We will teach you the game. Um, but somebody like my size at that age that's playing a skilled position, that's what we call them, a skilled position. I don't recommend that you start your kid at the age of 11 to 12 unless your kid is that kid. If he's that kid, then yeah. If he's a track star and he's one of the fastest people in the nation, yeah, nobody's gonna catch him. So yeah. But you know, what do you think, coaches? Is the coaches in here? What do you think? Do you think, am I wrong? Do you think it's okay for a kid to start at the age of 12, 13 to play football? Maybe basketball, um, baseball, maybe. I don't know. I've seen some baseball games with kids at 12 or throwing bullets. Um, Shamar, you said at the age of 7? At the age of that's a great age. That's a great age. That's where the kids that I coach, they started at the age of 7. They started at the age of 7 tackle. And you know, some people told me like, yo, going from that transition from flag to tackle, they weren't gonna be able to do it. And like I said, it wasn't that hard for us. It wasn't that hard for us. My kids, they tackled. We got a special method at the Bad News Bruins. Uh, start at the age of 5. Yo, and that's not bad. Like I said, the age of 5 is not bad. At the age of Dre, at the age of 5, with tackle or flag. I mean, because yeah, if you start flag at 5 and 6, that's perfect. And start tackle at 7. Some people start tackle at 5. In fact, my own son, I started him tackle at 6. But I did that because I before I made that decision, I conversed with a lot of coaches and uncles and about youth football and all that, to see their stance on it. But I ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm my son's father and I make the decision. And I started him at 6. Thank God he handled his own. He wasn't, and I only think that's because he was around the game. He's always been younger than the kids that I coach. So he was able to see, oh, okay, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. And you know, somebody said no flag. Flag, let me tell you something, Shamar. Flag is actually a great training. Flag is a great training. I started mine at the age of 6. If I could do it again, I would wait till 8 or 9. I would love for you to jump in the live. If you could find on StreamYard, because Deshaun, I would love to hear your opinion on why you would start at 8 or 9 now. Because I would want to know why, because I look at you as a success story. As well, the success story that's going. You got your son at a nice high school playing varsity football. Your other son is a monster coming up, which is probably going to end up at another nice high school where these guys are going to college playing youth football from youth football. So, and you started at 6. So I would love to hear why you would say I want to start at 8 or 9. Um, the ultimate goal, and let's touch on that for a little bit. The ultimate goal as coaching youth football or youth football period is definitely to see the kids that you coach soar and prevail to certain levels that you've never reached. D1 college and possibly pros. So the I would love, and like I said, we're gonna get Coach Wadu, commissioner, on here, because I want to know what that feels like to actually coach your kid from a young level and to see them now play at the high level, how that works. But That's interesting right there that Deshaun said that. I started mine at 6. If I could do it again, I would do it. I would wait to the age of 8 and 9. I wonder why. Was it injuries? Was it too much? Um, it's a good thing. That's an interesting thing. Deshaun, if you can find on my Facebook, I put a StreamYard link. I would definitely love for you to join in, um, because I definitely want to know what that's about. That's very interesting to me. And I'm putting the link right now in the chats right there. If you want to jump in, you could jump in. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to show everybody your face. You could just use your voice. And if you got any questions or if you got an opinion or something. I see Chad said he started flag till I was 14. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say it can't happen. It can happen if you start late. I just wouldn't recommend it. My personal experience, I wouldn't recommend it. I've seen kids at that level. And it's like, yo, you know, um, seen people at that level. So I got about I got about 10 minutes left. If anybody want to jump in, let's. I'm gonna switch gears to parents. Um, as a coach, uh, as a head coach, one of the hardest things I dealt with was the parents. A lot of people think it's the kids. The kids is the easy part. It's actually the parents. It's actually the parents, and then it's managing the coaches, and then after the coaches, it's the kids. And let's touch on the parents. Some parents have uh, unexpected expectations, unreachable expectations. Some parents have, and it's like, come on, man, you ain't never threw your son a football. You ain't never took your kid in the backyard to do no drills. Okay, your son is at school, you know, doing arts and crafts when other kids are out there playing football. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, but I'm just trying to paint a picture here that sometimes as parents, you guys want us to be the parents, where it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just throw my kid in youth football and he's gonna become tough. It ain't that easy. It ain't that easy. In fact, it makes us hard and it's quite selfish. It's quite selfish. We're gonna get right back to it. I'm about to bring um Deshaun in here. Deshaun, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's happening with you?
What's going on, man? Let the people know your experience. I know who you are, but let the people know your experience as far as youth football and or what have you.
Okay, so as a kid, I played for the North Valley Golden Bears. Let me see if I turn this down.
Historic. Let me he down for
Historic, yeah,
historic
yeah,
North Valley Golden Bears.
yeah. Historic North Valley Golden Bears as a kid. Of course, I'm 39 years old, almost 40. So I played in the 90s. So in the,
Mm.
an era where those
Brutal
tough
days.
coaches you talking about. Yeah, yeah. Where you got cussed out and hit over the head for fun. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That was it. And your mama and your daddy didn't say nothing about it. You
nothing.
know what I'm saying? So that, and then I'm also I have two boys that also play for the North Valley Golden Bears.
Okay.
Um I have one son now that's a junior at Sierra Canyon that plays football,
Yes, you
and
do.
I have another boy that'll be entering high school in a year and a half. So I'm just getting my feet wet with the high school experience. So
Please.
about to answer your question about why I would start my kid at 8 or 9 years old, a father once told me at my job, he had been through the Pop Warner thing, and his son was in college, about to go to then got a scholarship to Washington, and it was
Okay.
right around the time my boys was just about to start. And he told me
Washington
he told me
University.
the same. Washington University.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. His son was about to get a full. His son was about to get a full ride, and
Okay.
I told him. I said, "Oh man, my boy's 6. I want to get my boy out there." And he told me, "Nah, man, I would. If I was you, I would wait till he's 8 or 9." And at the
Mm.
time, like most fathers, and I'm gonna say black fathers because I'm a black father. I said, "Fuck that." You know what I'm saying? Nah, I want my nigga to play tackle football. I want my nigga to do what I see them do on TV, what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see my son run touchdowns, and I want to see. That's why I had this dude. Pretty much, that's what I'm saying. I had you so that you could play football. That's why you were born. For you to put these pads on, for me to spatch your shoes up. I'm not waiting
I get it.
until you
I
get
get
no
it.
8 or 9. Like
I
it was
get it.
long enough for me to wait till 6.
I get it.
So,
I
but
get it.
I say that because I say I would wait though, because he told me, he said, man, I would wait because your son's body hasn't completely developed. At
Mm.
5, 6 years old, your kid is
Mm.
not developed. Your kid's bone structures, it's not natural for a 5 or 6 year old to hit another 5 or 6 year old, even though you're not going to necessarily, like you said, you're not going to hurt. You're not going to hurt. The kid's not going to get hurt. But for a kid to take that kind of hitting to the head or getting hit in the legs and all that, like, dude, you wouldn't whoop your kid or you wouldn't throw your kid down a flight of stairs, or you know what I'm saying? So it's not really it's not a natural thing to do with a baby, because at the time, 5 or 6 years old, man, it's these are babies. You know what I'm
They
saying? We look at
definitely are
them,
babies. Yes.
right? You look at them like they're, oh nah, you that dude and all that, but you're really a baby. So that's my reason behind it. If I can do it over again, and if my sons, when they get ready, if I have grandsons, I would strongly suggest them to not let my grandsons play football to 8 or 9, because the other thing about it is it's not going to change anything. If your son is a dog, your son is going to play at the next level. He's going to go to that high school. He's going to get the same recognition that he would have got at 5 or 6. It's not going to make a difference. Now, 10 or 11, 12, yeah, because like you said, you got
It's a
some
different
different
ball
kids,
game.
but
It's a different ball
eight or
game.
nine, 8 or 9, man, you're not losing anything from 6 to 9. If your kid can play, and if your kid wants to play, you'll be all right.
So
You'll be all right.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. But I guess where I'm like, in your experience, it didn't turn out bad that you started your kid at 6, because your kid is playing at a high level. He's playing at a high level, and he's going to end up going, to the next level. And he started at the age of 6. So is it safe to say, you're so hardly saying that Lil Deshaun could have played at 8, 9, he still would have been at this high level. That's what you're essentially saying.
He would have been perfectly fine. He would have
And
been
I
perfectly fine.
and I agree with that. Let me ask you another question while I got you on here. And I talked a little bit earlier about dads coaching their sons. I tried it, and I said earlier, I suck. I am an asshole. I am that coach that you talk about, to be like, yo, why is he yelling at his kid and so hard on his kid? That was me. And I realized that, and I said, you know what? I need to back up, because my son has skills, but I'm going to make him hate the damn sport. How did you, how many years, first question, how many years did you coach your son? And how did you manage to uh obviously not make him hate the game?
To manage.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man. Look, I might come on here and sound like I know. Oh, it sounds like, oh man, yeah, you kid playing 8 or 9. Like I said, I was a crazy nigga too. So
Yeah.
I say that to say I did the same thing to my son. What are you talking about? I did
Yo.
the same thing. I grabbed him by the face mask. I told him, "Nigga, get your ass out of here." Folks had to grab me. Like, what are you talking about? You know
Yo.
what I'm saying? Like, I was that. You know what I'm saying? I was that same dude. So, nah, man. It's I was that same person, man. It's just if it's any young fathers on there, and if y'all ain't been through it yet, and you still got kids, I'm just telling you this, man, and I'm not even all the way through it yet. I done went through the phases of coaching my son, at where I had to stop coaching my son because I start realizing the other kids, if I'm having a bad practice, once practice is over, it's over for them, and I'm just Coach
Mm,
Jones. And then we
mm,
get to the next day. Dallas Jones goes home with Coach Jones. So I'm getting
mm-hmm.
in the car. I'm still on your head about what happened at practice. I get
On
home. I'm
his
still on your head
ass.
about. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm on your head, bro. So I had to realize, like, okay, man, it ain't good for me to do this because at the end of the day, I'm your father. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And if this game
Mm-hmm.
is gonna make me turn into something to where, like, where I can't be your father, it's like, nah, I gotta step back and I gotta let somebody else do this, man, because it ain't. At the end of the day, man, it's just a game. And like any young fathers out there, man, like I said, I'm just going through it. I got one son in high school, man. Bro, if your kid is that kid, man, and you put the time and the training into him, bro, what's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. It don't, you don't need to browbeat or beat the kid up, man, or like, you don't need to do all that, man. If your kid, you know, and I'm not saying be a punk, I'm not saying be a pussy, excuse my language,
Yeah.
but I ain't saying soft on your boy because we don't do
It's
that.
an adult show. You can curse. You good.
Oh, okay, all right, we don't, we ain't doing no pussy shit to our boys because
Yeah.
we ain't raising pussies, but you know, at the same time, man, find that that clear line of being a father and being a coach. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a line, and you will, like you said, you will chase your son away from the game because it's not fair. Because the rest of those kids, like I said, at 8 o'clock, they get to go home and it's over. They eat dinner,
It's
do they
over with.
home. Your kid goes home to an angry dude, and you're especially hard on him because you, like I said, since this little nigga been born, you were supposed to be this, and you're not doing that. So now I'm even more mad because I'm not getting the gratification out
Do
of
you
seeing
do
you
you
run the
do you think
touchdown, man.
Deshaun, do you think as fathers we think like that because it's something that we wanted? Um I know for example it was before I started doing comedy or anything like that, it was two things for sure I knew I wanted to do as a kid. Number one, I wanted to be I wanted to be a wrestler. I wanted to go to WWF. I wanted to be Bret Hart.
Bret
That's
Hart,
again.
that's it.
I'm from that generation. I want to be
Right.
Bret Hart. And number two, I wanted to play football. I wanted to be Deion Sanders and Charles Woodson and all. I wanted to do that. And because it didn't work out, and I can only think that when us men, when we do have sons, from the moment he's born, you see everybody giving him little teddy bears and pacifiers. But as a father, we like, yo, this little nigga getting the football. Do you think it's because we didn't go to that level that we're extremely harder on our sons?
I definitely think it has something to do with it. I mean, because most of us that didn't go to that level, most of us didn't pay attention to what the older person said.
Mm-hmm.
We either started doing something, we had kids, we start having sex, or whatever the old person was saying to keep your head on straight, you didn't pay attention to it. So when you get
Yeah,
when your son comes along, you know what I'm saying? You trying to make up for lost time. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I mean, I do think that's part of it.
yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to tell. That's what I'm trying to say, man. If anybody's out there that's got a kid that ain't done it, and I ain't just talking about football, I'm talking about any sport.
Any
You know
sport.
what I'm saying, man? Dude, you don't you can't be that to your child though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You gotta
yeah,
separate the two because at the end of the day, you're still a father. You feel
yeah,
me? You're still a
yeah.
father, and you're gonna stress yourself out more trying to figure out some stuff that this dude ain't doing. When hey man, it may not be for him to do, or it ain't his time to do it. But if he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna like parents, man. Y'all, parents think that oh man, because I put my kid in a football helmet and some cleats and some spat, he gonna be the best thing ever. No, Nick,
Yeah,
check your genetics, man.
yeah.
If you ain't got
That's
somebody,
very true.
you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got somebody that played at the next level, you ain't got somebody that was a high school star or something like that. How you expect for this dude to be that, man? You know
That's
what I'm saying? I
very
mean,
that's very true.
I mean, and what's saying? And I'm not saying that he can't. I'm just saying if you ain't never had nobody in your family or somebody else do it, uncle, brother, with cousin, you know what I'm saying? Why you being hard on this dude when you wasn't that? You know what I mean? You didn't do
They're trying
that.
to live because we're trying to live through our kids. Last question. The last question. I'm gonna let you go. I want to ask you this.
Mm.
At what, if you can think about it, if it comes to you, at what point were you like, and I'm talking about for your oldest boy Deshaun, at what point you was like, oh, okay, I can't coach him no more. I gotta pass the torch. For me, like I said, when it came to football, I knew I couldn't coach him. I tried to coach him at baseball, and I was a little bit, ugh, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even play baseball, so I knew when he was gonna play the sport that I love, football, that it was gonna be crazy. But for me, when it was football, I knew like, oh, okay, I definitely can't coach him. I remember it was a playoff game. I think we were 8 years old, and BJ was 6. It was his first year, and somebody did a sweep, and he took the wrong angle and missed a tackle. And listen, I was livid. You hear me? I was livid. Now,
Yep.
at this time, I'm supposed, you know how it goes. When the game is going on and it's like halftime, y'all supposed to get certified and all that other good stuff. I'm not even paying attention to certification. I'm not even paying attention to none of the
Remember
stuff
when you
we
did?
supposed to be doing. I'm looking like, yo, why did number 9 miss that
Right.
fucking tackle? And I'm going, oh, look, hey, I'm at the end zone. I'm at the end zone going off, throwing my hat. BJ, what the fuck is going on? Like going off. And my boy came over to me and was like, yo, relax, man. Let he's 6. Let the coaches,
Right.
let the coaches coach. You got your team. And I was just like, you know what, you're right. And it's funny because if it's any coaches on here that my coaches, they used to tell me all the time, like, yo, why don't you go coach your son? Because look, it'll be practice. Nigga, by an hour in our practice, I'm over there watching my son, like, what's going on? They're like, your whole team is over here, but I'm doing that. So my question to you, like, at what point you was like, oh, okay, I don't need to coach my son. I need to pass the torch and let somebody else take over.
Well, I sort of got forced into doing that because my son played, well, one year. I was actually on the staff,
Mm-hmm.
and then the staff that was on, man, I was blessed, man, because the staff that my first staff I was ever on ended up coaching my son all the way through Pop Warner, and I trusted them. You know what I'm saying? So I trusted those dudes.
Yes,
Um,
that's a
so
blessing.
I would,
It's a
yeah.
blessing.
So I would say that. I would say that. Once you find somebody that you truly trust with the development of your kid, you know what I'm saying, is a good time. But at the same time, I mean, man, if you can coach your kid, man, and just, and understand that, man, if you got a 32-man roster, you coaching all the kids. You can't just coach your kid, and you can't just be on your kid, because at the end of the day, man, it's not fair to your kid.
It's
You know
not
what I'm
fair. It's
saying? And
true.
you will chase your kid away. You will run your kid away from the game, man. And that's any game. You know what I mean? All that I'm gonna kick your ass. I mean, man, and I'm like that, man, because I saw look, man. Hey, well, look, hey, somebody personally that I used to see act a plum ass, on the sideline. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I look, I used to see fathers, man. It was another family, man, where I used to see this dude, man. He used to do his boy bad, man, when I was a kid. And like
Yeah.
and then back then my father wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, that sucks and that kid ended up being real good, but the kid ended up burning out. You know what I'm saying? He burnt out.
It
So
happens like that. It's true.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, and one more thing to add to the 8 or 9 thing. I think if you do start your kid at 8 or 9, the less likelihood, if your kid is or such, if you do believe in burning your kid out, you're starting your kid at a later age. So,
That makes
you
sense.
know, starting at 5,
Makes sense.
from 5, you think about these kids nowadays, man. By the time you get to college, man, you've been playing football like 12 years or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, so these
Now that
kids
that,
get
that
injured
that
and
that
stuff.
makes sense.
You know,
That makes sense because I wanted to be a wrestler at 5, and by the time I was 11, I was over it. Yeah,
yeah,
that makes sense.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
I'm logically speaking. Like, had I would have started at 11, maybe I would have kept wanting to be a wrestler.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It gives and you know what, man, it lets your brain, even though you're a kid, man, it lets your brain develop a little bit more too.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You get more into your head, man, and you can like I said, especially nowadays, man, with these coaches, man. And and I did it too. Man, we starting football damn near March or April and we ain't in until February. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you
Don't
taking your kids to
understand.
DB training,
Yeah,
quarterback training,
yeah,
7-on-7. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So really, your
yeah,
kids don't get a chance to play another sport, or they don't even get a chance to really sit down. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So when your kid get to college or get 13 years old and tell you don't want to play no more, well, yeah, nigga, you don't want to play no more because nigga, that's all I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You didn't let me run track and play basketball, nigga. You
That's
know what
very
I'm saying?
true.
Shit.
That is very true,
Yeah.
man. That is very true. Hey, brother, I appreciate you jumping on, man. Give me your insight, man. Thank you for
All
thank you.
right.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
for
it.
sure. For sure. All right, man. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, man. To piggyback what he was saying, like, yeah, dude, you will burn your kid out. And I realized that at my age, it's like, I mean, at that time with my kid, is like, yo, you got to step back. And thank God that I did it in the right time. That my kid, my kid still loves the game, and he still plays, and he wants to play. And I'll probably never coach my son. And I realized that. And I realized that as an individual that I won't I won't coach my son. Um, so I hope if there's a parent, as I end this live, I hope there's a parent that got something out of this. If you need any information about where to sign your kid up or what have you, definitely DM me. Um, Football is still my love, one of my loves. Yes, I do comedy, I tell jokes, but football is still one of my loves, and I'll be willing to help you out to get you to the right resources and that type of stuff. Be safe. Uh, Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be back next week. Don't be afraid to jump in that link. Don't be afraid to jump in. Jump in. Yeah, of course, Jazz. Yes, football is definitely great. The football is definitely great. Get your kid into it and just see how he is. And if he's not into it, don't be afraid to pull him out of it and try a different sport. A lot of times, as I'm gonna end it. I don't want to get on another topic. I'm gonna end it. But a lot of times, as black fathers, black men, we think that football is the only sport, or football or basketball. There's nothing wrong with putting your kid into soccer. There's nothing wrong with putting your kid into tennis, golf, hell, baseball. Baseball make more money than all those sports, and you have less of a risk factor to get injured. So don't be afraid to explore the options with your child as far as playing sports. Um, we'll be back next week, same time. Brandon Lawrence, 6th period. Thank y'all.